Hello everyone, Sheek here with another Transformers review, and today I will be reviewing the Transformers Legacy Evolution Maximal LeoPrime. Let's take a look at the packaging. So there's a cue card if you want to scan that. His head is very Optimus Prime-esque, more so than Optimus Primal. And Evo Fusion, I guess, weapon. And then you have main weapons. It looks a little bit like melted wax. But, we'll see. Anyway, let's go ahead and get him opened up. So, here we have LeoPrime, or the Legacy Evolution version of him anyway, out of his packaging. And my, is he a stunning figure. His head, of course, is very reminiscent of Optimus Prime. I wonder if he's called Leo Convoy in Japan. Anyway, but yeah, LeoPrime. Head is on a ball joint. It's very stiff. You can do a full 360, and pretty much there might be some slight differences from standard Optimus Prime head, but it pretty much looks like, well, if you stuck Optimus Prime's head on a maximal body. Like I said, different from Optimus Primal, and I'm pretty sure it's probably entirely different character too, unless he's somehow, I don't know, turned into a lion. Like I said, I haven't seen the anime. But, I mean, look at all this detail. I will admit the paint is a little chipped or thin on this ring right here, but there's a nice Maximal emblem. Blue on the chest, silver on the abs, and my, does he have some nice abs. Metallic gray, blue, and then nice gold paint. That looks like there's a serial number right there on the side. And then you got red for the kneecaps, metallic gray, some light blue. Pretty much, if Optimus Prime was a lion, that's pretty much what you get with him. Absolutely stunning, and I haven't even transformed or anything like that, just because of how stunning it looked, and I just want to get it off my chest, like, almost immediately. Speaking of chest, you can open that up, and I think that's his Spark. It could be their equivalent, maybe his version of the Matrix. I really don't know, because I have not watched the show, but it's a cool panel. And even on the inside, there's molded detail, which is really cool. They didn't have to include that, but they did. Absolutely love it, and depending on how he looks in lion mode, how well everything else goes, it could be like a miniature masterpiece in the gold plastic, because it just looks almost like mustard, almost like a mustard color. Then he does come with 4 little guns, tiny little guns. You can make him wield teeny little guns, and you can, if you can get to say, oh, interesting. I didn't notice about the hands, but the hands are gray with blue handguard. That's pretty cool. Anyway, but yeah, tiny little gun in there. It looks like you can put blast effects, so you can get a little pew pew bang bang or love. Thing is awesome. He pretty much looks like a Barbarian version of Optimus Prime, almost like Hercules potentially. Back of the line right here, so you can tell how he's probably going to kind of transform. So, articulation, like I said, head is a ball joint, very stiff. Arms can go out that far. Bicep swivel. About 90 degree bend at the elbow. Shoulders can do a full 360, although this does get in the way, so it could do a full 360. Otherwise, do have a nice stiff waist swivel. You can do a full split. Legs can go forward that far, and back that far. Thigh rotation, and a little over 90 degree bend at the knee, and I guess it is a little bit of a double knee thing. That's probably more for lion mode. And then you can rotate that, but that looks like more for transformation as well. And you do have ankle tiltage, quite a bit of it, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so overall, I'd say he's a pretty mixed bag. Definitely, robot mode is where he shines. Lion mode, well, anyway. I did look up pictures of an actual lion. This is relatively accurate to an actual lion face. They aren't, the snout isn't perfectly straight out like it appears to be on Leo Convoy in the anime. But I wish they would have gone like more with the masterpiece shape, where it sticks out a little bit further and not sloping down the way it is. And then also those dead yellow eyes. I will show you off where you can store the guns. The ones with the tabs. The tabs are so you can, well, tab them in right there. And then you can also tab them in right here and right here. Or you can also tab them in here, apparently. And then you flip this out, and the other guns are right there. And then you can rotate the lion leg, foreleg down, and then you have a Slishy slashy slash. I will admit there is a little thing that's a little bit frustrating. It's like exactly where and how should you put the front leg. But I think this is kind of the best that you can get without it looking too weird. Obviously, when you do that, it kind of looks a little weird. Overall, robot mode, pretty cool, and this is where he shines. Now, for transformation, it is kind of interesting. It wants you to pull that out, and then you pull up the back kind of thing like that. Rotate these, and you might want to get the legs out of the way. Rotate this, and then rotate around. So it is kind of sort of almost similar to Megatron. And then kind of just then open up his chest, split it open, rotate the head in, flip this out, rotate around, and push back down. And then this, okay, so I'm going to flip these back. And he does have almost kind of sort of visible hand syndrome in lion mode. I mean, it's not the worst I've seen. But it is there kind of thing. Okay, let's see. Let's make sure I'm doing this right. All right, so, yeah. Okay, so get it up. Okay, rotate. Okay, there we are. Get it up sort of like this, because this is going to go up in there. And then also want to get the foreleg extended and just rotate that around. And then this is going to rotate, and that's a tab right there. Might be better to do it right now so that I don't have to worry about it a little bit later. And then this right here, that tabs in right there. And then you can see how that kind of lines up. And this is where the visible hand is pretty much kind of sort of visible hand syndrome. But I mean, it's not the worst. And then just get that extended, rotate it around, then get this. Come on. We're soft, let's flip this. Okay, there we are. This up. And then, oh dear, I feel like I'm just flipping him around, but there we are. Okay. Then get that tabbed in. Make sure the hand didn't come out, but clip this clip together, tab in on the sides. And you can rotate that down. It mostly, you don't really notice the hands too much like that, but if you obviously look in, that's why I say sort of visible hand syndrome, but it's not the worst I've seen. And then just push that down, finishing the mane. And then before you get this all pushed down, let's look out the tail. And then just push this all down, like so. Then push the lion, or push his legs down, rotate there. And what's really cool is, even though it's not 100% lined up, it still actually looks fairly decent like that for the robot mode. You can see how the muscle is more in line right there. And then rotate here, and then just, you know, do the line thing, and then flip the heel spurs in, rotate around, and rotate that around. And here we have him in his lion mode. And if you're thinking just standard lion, okay. But he is a fairly clean lion mode for the most part. I think that's actually pretty cool. My guess is they're probably not really going to release any of the other characters from Beast Wars second line, toy line, but if they do, that'd be cool. If they don't, whatever. Like I said, I haven't really watched it. Anyway, as far as guns, the two that tabbed in right in here, like I said, I don't really care too much about pulling them out. You can tab them in right there, but per instructions, it says you're supposed to flip this out, tab it in right there, and then you have 4 guns pretty much in his lion mode, and you flip this out, and then you have main gun. Really bad pun, unintentional. Honestly, it was honestly unintentional. Main gun. Ha. Yeah, he looks pretty cool. I wouldn't say he's necessarily the best $35 that I've spent, but definitely not too bad. Oh yeah, the feet, the hind feet, because they're the feet for the robot mode, are a little bit bigger than the forepaws. So I mean, that could be another potential thing. Yeah. So, oh yeah, and of course, the mouth opens up so he can roar. Alright, one last thing I probably spent entirely too much time working on this, but I did decide to do a little inking. Mixed results. I feel like the mane in some ways looks a lot better, rather than just being a dull mustardy color. And like I said, it does seem to sparkle a little bit more in the camera. So actually, I think it personally looks really good. Of course, feel free to let me know what you think in the comments. Yeah, it wasn't as good. The tip isn't as fine as some of the Gundam inking pens. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get as small of marks, but I think that looks a little bit better. For the most part, I decided to leave most of it alone because the shadows help with the darkness shading look for the muscles, so that I mostly try to leave alone. But I did see, because looking at the pictures of him in his lion mode, I did see like a little bit of lines indicating like bit to make it look more like fur. So I was like, okay, I'll add that to my own. And I decided to ink his face a little bit. Did a little bit more on his nose, made it a little more pronounced to make it a little more like the cartoon. Gave him the whisker dots, and I gave him used black marker for the most of the eye, and then a little bit just a tiny dab of white paint for the pupils, or to get the shiny look. And I think it looks pretty good. Definitely still doesn't quite look like Leo Convoy in the cartoon. Definitely looks better than the dead lion eyes from before, in my opinion. Maybe I shouldn't have done that line, but I feel like it's a little late for that now. Maybe I could remove it with some alcohol, but I think it doesn't look that bad. And then I did the ears a little bit, and let's see what else. And I did notice, if you look really closely, you can see what looks like a little bit of yellow from like glue. So this is definitely glued on, so you can't really remove it. So if they do make a third-party alternate lion head, it's probably gonna have to be like a whole assembly thing. So it'd definitely be a lot more trouble than just popping off this face and popping on the new one. But yeah, that's about it for Transformers Legacy Evolution LeoPrime, or Leo Convoy, or whatever you want to call him. And if you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.